Okay, hey there guys. So in today's war we're going up against HC Mags. It's been a while, but it's been a while since I've faced them, but have a lot of love for a lot of the guys there. Really good friends with a couple of them. Just really good guys, really good alliance that have a lot of respect for them. So, as much respect as I have to kind of go crazy this war. I ended up getting a fair few fights for me this war. My total this season hasn't been low, but it's definitely not like groundbreaking or anything. But this war, I get a fair few fights. I think I had one fight taken away from me, but a different fight given back to me just off of some timing issues again. So starting here on this path 4 again, so I'm having a spot here. Usually, I've actually faced spot on path 4, but typically in section 2 instead of section 1. But I'm going to go ahead and face him here in section 1 this time, which I'm hoping will be easier because I'm going to have those Furies as I mentioned in I think that last video. I took this path as well. And for this one, because I have that Power Start 1 and I have the Suicides, I go straight for those 3 Furies. And I just want to try to get off my special while I have that. So I'm going to get the first hit off, and it's 41k. And that's why those Furies are so big, because I have that heal block and then the 2 Suicides. I'm just able to blitz up. 40,000 off one hit with a Mole Man is kind of crazy. You know, he's someone that has high damage, but I feel like for Mole Man it's more about the consistency of that damage over a duration rather than like Ghost, where you're like, oh, I just threw a 200k SP2. Mole Man's like, oh, it's an 80k SP2. It's a lot of damage still. I'm not saying it's not, but it's not that insane. It's not as insane. Able to get a nice counter there with my Warlock, which probably I shouldn't have gone for, because as I've said, I haven't played Warlock for like a long time. He's pretty new on my account still. But gonna go in, just a couple hits here, remove some prowess, make sure I don't get too many weakness, and then throw my SP2. He's gonna get those weaknesses on me, so he's gonna get that Fury. I'm losing a bit of damage here, only doing 10k with boosts. I do, after an SP2 with a rank 4, I do 10k without suicides or boosts on mediums, I think. So that was a little bit lower damage, but it's fine. Suicides are staying on for right now, and then I'm going into this Null here. Again, pretty common fight for me at this point. I'm like, nah, I don't need to heal here. I don't need the health. Just double checking all that, because after this fight, the next fight I needed different boosts on or something for, so I wasn't in as big of a rush. So my pretty normal strategy, back off at the start. Just do a couple hits real quick. Gonna trigger my Frenzy. I actually messed up there. I could have countered there, but I wasn't expecting him to actually hit. And again, like right, kind of as I was saying, like 22, 7, 7, and then 30. You know, it's a lot of damage, but it's not as big as that like 40k hit I had. And then second SB2 finishes him off. This Null with Mole Man is very consistent. I find pretty comfortable with it here. And then going in, oh, that's what it is. It's this Havoc here. But I've had to buy a lot of energy refills this season, just out of not like laziness, but I'd rather, I feel like, spend those 25 units than reboost or hold people up. Right there, I was just checking on my boost situation just to figure out what I had going, to like if I should rush in or whatever. Just see what was happening, I think. So I'm going to switch over to the tech boosts, obviously, for Warlock here, because I'm going to be done with Mole Man, and I wasn't going to switch back and forth for that first part, going between Spot into Toad. I didn't feel like I needed the tech boost for the Toad fight. I also technically didn't need the skill boosts for the Spot fight, but didn't know that. So coming in here with Warlock. Done this fight before, but yeah, just getting ready for this fight. I still have the Suicides on. All the boosts are going. Should be a pretty quick fight. That's kind of how this fight goes. And then, right, if I'm not crazy, no, okay, yeah, I did put on the Power Start 1. So the two things are, I just want to keep those prowess off him, keep all that stuff draining, and then I want to get an infection before that SP2 goes off, so I get those starting armor breaks, and that's going to really increase that damage, allows me to cycle it back, and he's going to come back in. Just going to throw a couple hits, SP2 again, and down the drain. Pretty simple. Warlock fights are really, really fun. And then right here, I'm actually going to be the one to take this Doom up here from Jelly. The Jelly. I need to drop the Suicides, and I was going to need some more energy, so I did that so that I could carry the boosts more efficiently. because I'm going to actually take Doom, Weapon X, and Storm X. So I need the energy to get me that one neutral node, and then probably up to Storm X. I cut this part out of the video. I cut me taking off the suicides, just no need. But I actually forgot that I was supposed to have someone give me a white Magneto for the storm, and I forgot to tag them as I was moving. So when we get there, I'll talk more about that. So for this Doom fight, Doom is always one of those champions that I'm comfortable in fighting Doom. He's been out a while, obviously, and I feel good fighting him, especially with Torch. But I've had issues with Mystics on this like Path 5 here, and you just never know how Doom is going to react to you. And that's like just really the only concern. So I'm just going for some backdrafts if I can, if it feels safe, especially while I have the Invul. And while I have the Fury, the damage is just going crazy. I'm already doing one of those is doing like 1400 a tick. I'm just trying to bait a special here because that's going to just about kill him. I tried to Dex, but it didn't quite work. And I'm like, shoot, I can't use SP1 into him, but I can use it into his block because I wanted to wait out that shock. I did not want to get heavied after losing Invul. So pretty simple there. And I'm not going to go for another backdraft there because I had a feeling that, yeah, just my Power Stings, if he threw a special, Power Stings were going to do a lot of work there. And it was all going to be pretty good. So, as I said, I had pre-bought that energy refill. I'm going to go in and I'm going to slap on Suicides. I want to take this next fight with the Invul, I think it was, because it's a Weapon X, and for that fight, once I get to SP2, I'll have that fight kind of locked in. But with Weapon X, there's always that interim period of trying to trigger his what's it called? Why am I brain dead right now? Trying to trigger his rage where he's going to go unblockable and unstoppable. Unblockable is not the issue when I have backdrafts with his super aggressive AI, right? The issue with him there is that unstoppable that triggers. If you don't know when it's going to happen and it happens mid-combo, you're in a really bad spot. So I like having that Invul on because he gets that big chunky Fury. And I had a little plan going into this, but it actually kind of got thrown off a little bit. So I need to make sure I don't get a falter during a time where I want to hit him, particularly during his rage, because I want to be able to continuously hit the backdrafts during rage. Because that's like the best way to fight him is while he's in the aggressive state, you just backdraft. And I think I thought I popped a Power Start 1, and I was like, I just want it instantly heavy. And I realized how dumb I was. Now he has the Vigilance. So my plan was kind of to see if I could wait for the Vigilance to fall off before he enters his rage. And it's alright, I'm playing it nice and slow here. I have Approaching Falter. Boom, I get that. I really just want him to throw his SP1 here, but my Power Drain actually like helps him. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to parry heavy, just for the extra damage, extra style points. But because I have SP2, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to intercept with the special. And I was hoping that was going to give me another SP2, able to catch the light intercept there in the open field, which I was happy with, because as I said, like obviously his damage is pretty bad for you when he has that Fury going. But was able to catch the nice intercept, and the fight went very smooth. And now this is where it happens. I immediately go in, I'm like, okay, I have the energy, I'm going to go up here to this Storm X, and I'm like, and right here, as like I pop this Invul, like, okay, back out, invulnerability on. And then right as I click activate, I'm like, wait, I'm supposed to have a pre-fight for this because this is Conflictor. And I don't want to have to be dealing with Conflictor the whole fight. I only want to have to deal with it for the bleeds. My officer told me my plan, so I have an Invul on, right? So the plan is just use SP2, and not all of my armor breaks are going to stick. I decide to be a cheeky little idiot, and right before I decided my plan is going to be just going to fight her, taking it nice and slow for the first part, right? My damage is actually going fine. I'm doing more with glancing. I'm averaging more than 1% per hit, which under 100 hit fight is always the goal. But right around here, I'm like, hey, I have that bleed. I just wonder if I can luck it out a little bit, and if I can trigger a bleed. I'm like, okay, gonna get her down to low bars. So when I get this bleed, I'm like, I'm gonna get a bleed. Didn't get the bleed. I'm like, I'm gonna get the bleed. Gets the bleed, and I'm like, wait, she's at SP2. Shoot, what do I do? I'm trying to figure it out. And then I actually waited so long that the Conflictor wore off. I'm like, now she's at SP2 because she had prowess. But fortunately, because of power drain, my 2 forms of power drain there, she went from an SP3 to an SP2 in an instant. And because of the 2 forms of power drain I had going, she actually couldn't stick to an SP3 because of the power burn on the hits with the armor up from the tactic. So it was like pushing her to SP3, pushing her below it. So she actually couldn't get it, but that was really, really dumb and really risky of me. But it ended up working out for the best, right? It was a solo. I didn't use my invul. But as I said, love HC Magneto over there. Really good alliance. 13-2. I mean, it's a solid performance from both sides. 2, I wish we could have kept it to 1 or something. Always striving for better, right? But 2 is nothing to be laughing at, and 13 is definitely not that bad of a showing. A lot of alliances have had pretty high deaths this season, so that's what it is right now. And I'm not sure if there was just a random noise in my computer, and I don't want to re-record this. I just want to go to bed tonight. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope to be seeing you guys soon. Bye.